Something about me is that I love a quick, easy, cheap maintenance job that helps you save money and keeps your car running right. And today is one of those days. So first, we're going to be cleaning that mass airflow sensor right there. We're going to get any dirt, grime, debris that has built up on it over the last 7 years. And we're also going to be cleaning this throttle body right here, getting rid of any carbon buildup or debris that has built up on that butterfly valve. So what is a mass airflow sensor and why do you want to keep it clean? Well, this sensor right here is responsible for measuring how much air is going into your engine. It sends it to the ECU, and then based off of that reading, it will inject the right amount of fuel so that you have a proper combustion in your combustion chamber. Now, if that sensor is not reading those values correctly, it's going to send the wrong signal to that ECU, and that can lead to possibly a rich fuel mixture, and it could make your engine run rough or decrease your fuel economy. Now, like I mentioned, this is your throttle body, and that is actually responsible for allowing the air into your engine, into that combustion chamber. So there's a butterfly valve inside that opens and closes to regulate how much air comes in. Now that's connected to your throttle pedal, whether it be by wire, like my case right here, or by a physical cable that's directly linked to that and connected to your accelerator pedal. Now, if you have too much buildup of carbon or debris on that butterfly valve, you're not going to get the proper amount of airflow during idle, so you're going to have a rough idle, your car can stall, or you might get some poor acceleration off the line. So if you're experiencing rough idle or an engine stalling, poor acceleration, bad fuel economy, give this a shot. It's not too expensive. I'll go over the parts right now. So the only thing I really bought for this job was this throttle body cleaner and mass airflow sensor cleaner that comes in a 2-pack. So this was only about $9, really good price, and it's plenty to get this job done. Now, just to make my life easier on this 4Runner, I'm going to remove this entire intake system right here. So I'm going to be popping off this air box, disconnecting that hose down by the throttle body so that we can access that throttle body and this mass airflow sensor a little bit easier. And we're also going to need a screwdriver to take off this clamp that's holding the hose onto the throttle body. So first things first, I just removed these little clips that hold in the air box, and I also unplugged the plug for my mass airflow sensor. And after disconnecting a couple of hoses, taking out a bolt right there, and loosening up this clamp, I was able to actually slide that pipe off of that throttle body like I mentioned, and this just pops right on out. And with this taken out, you can see it a lot easier. You have these 2 screws holding in that mass airflow sensor. We're just gonna pop that out. And with these screws taken out, you can easily just go ahead and wiggle this mass airflow sensor right out. And you want to be careful to not put anything in there. Those are the coils that actually measures the amount of air coming in, but that is where we are going to be spraying our mass airflow sensor cleaner. And please do not take anything like a Q-tip or any sort of abrasive material and put it in there. That will destroy your sensor and you'll need to get a new one. I promise you. All you need to do is spray that fluid right into there and let it do its work. All right, so now I've got this sensor out. I've put it on this microfiber towel, and now we're gonna take our mass airflow sensor cleaner and hit it. Now you can get it in this connector, it's fine, it's made for that, but at the same time, you don't wanna just inject it right in there. We're mainly focused on where the sensor is actually reading that air coming into the air box. So we're gonna be hitting it right there. All right, so I think we cleaned that out pretty thoroughly, and to my surprise, not a lot of dirt, debris, and grime came out of that. So that means my air filter over there was doing a pretty damn good job at keeping any debris out. So make sure you change your air filter pretty frequently too. I should probably do that right now, but just wasn't able to run to Toyota to get another air filter, but that's definitely on my list. Now we're just gonna let that sit and air dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. You don't wanna take a microfiber towel and again, put anything in there. You just wanna let it air dry. It will evaporate after about 10 minutes. Now, while that's drying out, let's talk about the throttle body. As you can see, you have that butterfly valve in there, like I mentioned, and we're gonna be popping that off of that intake manifold so we can clean that backside. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a good amount of debris, carbon buildup, and grime on that backside, so that's what we're after. So I removed these 4 screws holding in that throttle body, and I was able to pop it off. I also took off this wiring harness right here, and there are 2 hoses that are connected to this still, but they are coolant lines. Don't ask me how I know. But we're gonna leave those on, and we can actually just clean it right here, no problem. So I'm actually going to take this microfiber towel and just block off that intake manifold. I don't want anything getting into there because from here, it's straight into the combustion chamber. And we're also going to take a couple more towels and just lay them around because we are going to be spraying that throttle body cleaner onto this throttle body. And if we take a closer look, you could see that carbon buildup that I was talking about. This right here, can't see it because it's a black glove on carbon, but this is what we're after. That can lead to rough idle and stalling if that builds up too much, since the air is not allowed to pass through. It's pretty much just blocking it off. So let's take this throttle body cleaner now and a clean microfiber towel and see how clean we can get this thing. Now, as you can see, after a few sprays and a few wipe downs, we already got rid of pretty much all of the carbon buildup. There's still a little bit more up in that top right corner. So we're gonna get this fully cleaned out and then get this reinstalled. Now, I forgot to mention, but when you're working with this, you wanna be careful not to be super rough with this butterfly valve. If you want to, you can gently press this open to access some of that carbon buildup that was right along the edge of that butterfly valve, but you don't want to be too aggressive. This is an expensive part if you break it, so just be careful. But after a little bit of elbow grease, look at that throttle body. It's looking pretty much brand spanking new. So now I'm gonna pop out this towel right here, and I'm gonna give that just a quick wipe right around the edges before I seat this back on there. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of carb cleaner, put it right here, and just wipe right around the edges. All right, so now I've got all of those towels removed and we're ready to button this all back up. So we're just gonna take these 4 screws and we're gonna hand tighten them first. And these do have a torque spec. I believe they are 15 pound-feet. I'm gonna double check. Make sure to check your car for the proper torque specs. You definitely don't wanna overdo it, especially if your intake manifold is plastic like mine. You don't want to be cracking that. Now, before we put everything back on, I'm just going to take a clean microfiber and some of this throttle body cleaner, put it on the rag, and just give the inside a nice wipe down. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And of course, don't forget to button everything back up where you found it. And now that our mass airflow sensor is completely clean and completely dried out, we can put it back into our intake pipe. And again, you are screwing this into plastic, so you don't want to overdo it. Once you get it nice and snug, you don't want to go much further than that. It's not a high stress area, so as long as it's snug, that's good. And as easy as it came off, I've got everything back on. I tightened up this clamp right here to hold the pipe into the throttle body, reattached all the lines that I took out, put that screw back in, and of course, plug in your MAF sensor. So now, the only thing left to do is hop in the car, turn it on, and hope that it still runs. And just like that, this job is complete. Now, even if your car is running fine, this is just a good general maintenance thing to do. You saw how easy it was. Even with the filming, it took me only about 30 minutes. And I would say anytime you change your air filter, you might as well get in there, clean that MAF sensor and that throttle body. Now, I didn't touch this throttle body for, I'd say, about 40,000 miles, and the MAF sensor I've never touched, so that has about 90,000 miles on it. But it's just good general maintenance to get in there and clean it out once in a while. Now, with that being said, this wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new, and don't be afraid to work on your cars. This is a super easy job, and with the internet out there, you could just search your car, and I'm sure you'll find a video or a blog post about how to do this for your car. And as always, cars are made to be driven, so make sure you get out, work on your cars so that you can drive.